I've lost 45 pounds in the past year and a half on a GLP-1, and I've decided to call it. I'm in maintenance now. Which is weird because I've been saying that I would start maintenance when my body fat was in a healthy range, and it's still a little bit too high. So what changed? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Plus a review of where I started 17 months ago and where I am now. Let's do this. Maintenance, baby! If you're new here, hi, I'm Bobby. I have been documenting my GLP-1 health journey here on YouTube for the past 17 months. Wow, it's been 17 months. Real quick, I'm not a medical doctor and I am a therapist, but I'm not your therapist. So none of this is medical advice or mental health advice. I am just sharing my experience with you and talking about the things that are helpful for me. Always talk to your own healthcare providers when you're making decisions for yourself. If you've watched my channel before, you may know that instead of weighing in every week, I do a monthly update. So this video is my monthly update. The biggest news is I'm in maintenance. Last month, my weight was 167, and this month, my weight is 165.1. So I've lost almost 2 pounds. That's about a half a pound a week, close to, but a teensy bit lower than my average rate of weight loss through this whole journey. And it gives me a total loss of 45 pounds. Okay, let's talk about where I was 17 months ago and where I am today. I've been tracking my weight loss and my body composition with the Hume Body Pod, which is a portable body analyzer. It's got medical grade accuracy similar to an in-body scan that you can get at a doctor's office or a fitness center. And it breaks down not just weight, but lean mass, fat mass, all kinds of metrics, which has been a big help for me because the movement of the scale alone has not been super dramatic. So seeing that I'm on the right track in terms of maintaining my lean body mass and reducing my fat mass has been very reassuring. My starting weight was 210.1 pounds and my current weight is 165.1 pounds. So I have lost 45 pounds. My starting body fat was 38% and it is currently 33.5%, which again, like I said, is still considered a little high. My starting fat mass was 79.7 pounds, and now it's 55.3 pounds. And my starting lean mass was 115.3 pounds and is now 104.9 pounds. And real quick, that doesn't mean I've lost 15 pounds of muscle. The lean mass also includes everything that's not fat in the body. And so since I'm smaller, I've got less skin, less water, less all these other things. Finding that out helped me not freak out when I saw that number, and also finding out that it's normal to lose some lean mass. No matter how hard you try with weight training and everything to keep it, when you're in a calorie deficit and losing weight, you're still gonna lose some lean mass. So I feel like I've minimized it the best I can. Then my visceral fat index score started at 17, which was high, and is now at 12, which is normal. That was really huge for me. Visceral fat is that deep abdominal body fat surrounding your internal organs that is metabolically active, and it's the dangerous kind of fat that contributes to inflammation and risk of diseases like cardiac diseases, dementia, metabolic disorders like diabetes. And so having my visceral fat in the normal range has been one of my goals, and it just happened a couple months ago. If you want to try the Hume Body Pod, my discount code stacks on top of whatever specials that they're running. BOBBI, Bobby is my discount code. I'll put the link and the code in the description below. I also want to share my measurements. I have this block around taking my measurements. I still don't do it, but I found an app that will scan you and give you your measurements. It's called Me360. And I didn't discover it until I was about 3 months into my GLP-1 journey. So I don't have data for back when I started. I think I was about 12 pounds down when I did this first scan. And then I did one yesterday, and I will put that up here so you can see the difference in the body scan and in my measurements. The one I want to highlight the most is the change in my waistline, because that is one of the more informative measurements in terms of health. And my waist measurement decreased from 35.4 back in April last year, and now it's 14 months later, and my waist measurement is 31.2. So I've lost 4.2 inches in my waistline in the past 14 months. No wonder I'm wearing different clothes. It took a long time for me to start needing different clothes. I've talked about that in another episode that I'll link to up here, about how clothing sizes don't really tell you a lot. The short version is that I had really stretchy clothes last year, and so it took a long time for me to not be able to wear them anymore because they just kind of stretched to fit, whatever size I was. I did start out mostly wearing extra large and larges and size 12s that were really stretchy, so I was probably a size 14, although I don't think I had any clothes with 14 on the label. And then I was able to wear all those clothes for pretty much a year, I think. But eventually they all got to be too big, or almost all of them. And now I wear mostly mediums and larges and size 10. If you're enjoying this, please hit like, hit subscribe, share it with someone who you think would enjoy this. It really helps YouTube to show it to people who would find this interesting. I also have an email newsletter that I send out every 2 weeks with just sort of behind the scenes stuff or things that either I couldn't fit into a YouTube episode or forgot to put in it or thought it was too personal to put out on YouTube. I will not flood your inbox with emails. Every 2 weeks is when you'll hear from me. I'd always thought that once I got down into a normal range of body fat, I'd consider that the top end of my maintenance range, and I'd consider myself starting maintenance. That makes perfect sense to me. So if I'm still a little bit overweight, according to these numbers, why am I calling this maintenance? But I have realized over the past month, I just don't care if I lose weight anymore. I'm really just focused on strength and endurance, and eating to fuel my body and to enjoy social situations that involve food. I want to preserve and perhaps build my lean body mass. I think all these things can happen even if the scale stays the same. So what is going to change? Well, my calories are going to have to change, and I need to meet with my dietitian to talk about this more. But we have talked about it in the past, and I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. Like I said, I have not been in a huge calorie deficit this whole journey. So I think there are some pretty small tweaks I can make that will help me get more calories, but not necessarily feel like I'm eating a whole lot more. Like if I switch from non-fat Greek yogurt to full-fat Greek yogurt, for example, or if I stop using PB2 and always use peanut butter, which before I kind of used both, but if I switched to just using peanut butter, that would add some calories. And just little things like that can really make up the several hundred calorie deficit per day that I've been in. And it's not that I just want to add fat to my diet. I think I can bump up my protein. But again, I need to talk to my dietitian because protein's very filling and it's easy for me to get full these days. Okay, what won't change? A lot won't change. I'm still going to be on a GLP-1 probably for the rest of my life because of the food noise and what it did to my metabolism, that after menopause and before the GLP-1, I was just gaining weight no matter how well I ate, how much I exercised, nothing helped. And so I feel like something shifted in my metabolism after menopause that the GLP-1 helped correct, and I think my body might just need it for the rest of its life. The same way that I need my thyroid medication because I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism several years ago. So I will continue to take the GLP-1. Will I continue at the same dose? Not sure yet. I'm still on 10 milligrams of Zepbound. I've been on that for 3 or 4 months now. It's working well and I'm not experiencing any side effects. I'm not changing it right away. I'm going to see if I can maintain my weight and increase my calories like I talked about without changing it, because I do like the lack of food noise. And the reason I went from 7.5 to 10 was because some food noise had started creeping back in at 7.5. So I'm going to see how it goes, keeping the dose the same. I know that I have options if I find out that I keep losing weight on this dose, but I don't want food noise. And those are options that I'll talk about with my doctor. Things like change the timing of your doses, like instead of once a week, every 10 days or something like that. So it's all kind of a work in progress, and I'm gonna just experiment. And the first experiment is to not change my medication and see if I can maintain my weight. The number on the scale might go down more, and that's fine if it does. I'm not in any danger of being underweight. I've got plenty of squish to work with, but I like my squish. I don't care if it stays. The other thing that won't change is meal prep. I need to meal prep. Otherwise, I just grab like shakes or bars or something. I need to have healthy meals ready for me. I've talked about this a lot in other episodes, so I won't talk about it too much here, but that will not change. I will continue to meal prep. And surprising no one, I will continue to exercise regularly, caveat, attempt to exercise regularly. I'm pretty good about it, but I can't portray myself as someone who does every workout that I might put on my calendar. There's always something that kind of slips between the cracks, but you know, I just try to keep showing up. So that won't change. I know myself, and I often get really into something for a while and then get out of it for a while. Like I backpacked quite a bit in 2014 and 15, and then I haven't since then until 2026. So as long as I feel this enthusiastic about it, I'm gonna keep backpacking. But I know myself, and if I become less enthusiastic about it and I see some other kind of activity that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what it would be, you guys. You know, I must cycle long distances or something. You know, I will just pursue that as long as I'm exercising, as long as I'm moving. And the strength training part is non-negotiable for me. No matter what activity I'm involved in, I need to support it with strength training. I am going to keep showing up here with weekly videos. So that's a whole lot of stuff that isn't going to change. I still kind of feel like maintenance won't look that different. Nothing is really going to look that different in my day-to-day, except I'm gonna try to eat a little more. Yeah. You might notice, I'm in a hotel room right now. We leave tomorrow for vacation. My husband had a work trip, so I came with him. And it's been this weird like liminal space because we're leaving right from here, but I've been working all week from this hotel room. So anyway, last year I tended to maintain my weight when I was on vacation. So we'll see if that happens again this time. You know, eating's different on vacation. So maybe I'll maintain my weight. I will definitely keep you posted. If you're still here, thanks so much for watching till the end. Usually I say see you next week, but I think I'm gonna skip a week because of my vacation. So I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.